Hello and welcome to the Massachusetts School of Law Educational Forum. I'm your host, Diane Sullivan. Hockey is a great game, fast-paced and played hard. Men are permitted to body check opponents into the boards. The game requires athletic skills as players skate and shoot at speeds of 20 to 30 plus miles per hour. Hockey has been around from the time of early civilization. Known as the ball and stick game, it was played since ancient times in places like Rome, Scotland, Egypt, and South America. The first organized indoor game was played at Montreal's Victoria Skating Rink in 1875. The game featured the use of a puck instead of a ball to prevent hitting spectators. The goalposts were 6 feet apart, and the game lasted 60 minutes. Although a similar sport had been popular in the United States during this time called ice polo, by 1893, the first ice hockey matches were played at Yale and Johns Hopkins. Ice polo died out as Americans adopted ice hockey as the chosen form of the sport. So in 1896, the first ice hockey league in the United States was formed. So here we are today in New England, and oh, how we love our hockey. I had a chance to sit down with a few coaches and players, and here's what they had to say.
I think the success-wise on the ice is probably a pretty easy question. We went to 3 district championships in a row, and we've won 3 conference championships in the last 5 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you. As far as challenges, we moved up a conference this year, so the competition level has really increased. It's a stiff schedule that we have, and a lot of good teams. Obviously, we just talked off the air that we had a lot of injuries this year already so far. I think we had 4 concussions,
wow.
Which is a lot. I know all teams deal with adversity and they deal with injuries, but I mean, this year has really been above and beyond what is considered normal injury-wise for a high school hockey team.
What is the goal of a high school hockey program?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, obviously, we coaches, players, we all want to win. I mean, we all want to win that big state championship, and that's not always a realistic goal. So I like to set that goal early in the season that we want to really come together and we want to be a better team when February rolls around than we are in December when the season starts. So it's just improvements every day. It's hard work, it's focus, it's all those things. And again, we want to be a much better team as the months progress. That would be the simplest goal.
And do you have to worry about the kids' academic progress simultaneously with your hockey agenda? Because you don't want to lose kids off the team.
Of course. I mean, it's always a factor. We've been relatively lucky in terms of academics. We've had a lot of not just good students, great students come through this hockey team. In fact, we had the number 2 senior in his class last year who is a freshman at the University of Pennsylvania right now. And we have one of our players at Fitchburg High School is the number 1 ranked student in the sophomore class. That being said, we have had some students struggle academically. We have had some students, like any high school team, being eligible because of academics. I like to think as coaches, we intervene the best we can in terms of helping set up a plan and encouraging those students, because I mean, ultimately, they're there for academics. And hockey, or any athletic, is really a privilege, and we encourage them. They need to take care of business in the classroom if they want to be a part of our program.
Tell me a little bit about your personal goals for this particular team this season.
I'll be honest with you. Going into the season, I know Coach Cormier, Coach Brooks, and I talked quite a bit about the challenges we would be facing moving up. We actually laugh about it that we didn't really move up from Division 3A to Division 3. We moved all the way up to at least Division 2 with some of the schools that we're playing, and their numbers, their feeder programs, their demographics of their high school. So, I mean, so far we've done a great job in kind of rising to the level of the competition, and we've taken care of business. Ultimately, what I want to do as a coach is I want to win games that we should win based on talent and ability, and I want to win all of those. And as a team, we want to win some of those games that maybe we shouldn't win, just through a work ethic and being prepared and being disciplined.
What's the hardest part of the job?
My quick answer would be just making sure we get the whole team, not just some of them, all of them on the same page. And we get everybody putting team first, ahead of personal goals, making sure they're doing everything in the classroom and off the ice to make sure that they're keeping our schools, Fitchburg High School and Monty Tech, in a good light, and not doing anything to embarrass the program or embarrass the school. And I think we've done a pretty solid job of that over the last 6 years. But that can be a challenge. They are high school kids, and they make mistakes all the time, and they make bad decisions. But we believe in being firm, but we also believe in giving second chances. So I think overall, over the past 6 years, I think with the help of Coach Cormier and Coach Brooks and the players, of course, we've had a great bunch of players that understand. And I don't have very few complaints about how they've acted on the ice, in the community, and in the classroom.
Let's talk a little bit about juniors. Some of your seniors will graduate. So what is the impact of juniors on high school hockey? How do kids get from here to college and continue playing hockey?
Well, that's a good question, and I can answer that as a high school coach now for 6 years, and I can also answer that as a college coach for 10. Just the dynamics of the college game has been shifting over the past 5 or 10 years. And you don't have to look any further than right here at Fitchburg State, where a lot of players are coming in as 19 and 20 and sometimes 20-year-old freshmen due to playing whether it's 1, 2, or 3 years of junior hockey. As good as some of our players are and as good as some of our teams have been, and also some of the teams in the area, it's a huge jump. It's a jump very few of them can make. Coming right out of high school. So the junior hockey is a good option for those kids that really want to play at the next level and might not quite be there yet, whether it's size or ability, just certain things that they need to work on and improve. It is a good option for a lot of kids if they're close but not quite there yet.
What are your views on fighting?
At the NHL level, I'd like to see it kept in the game. I think it's a natural way to police the game. As long as things don't get out of hand, I think they did a good job at the NHL level in eliminating those full bench clearing brawls, things like that. Unfair battles, the third man in, that stuff they've taken great pains to eliminate. But I still like fighting in hockey, particularly at the NHL level, if not only the NHL level, just because it keeps some of the players honest. I think that you can't just go out there, trying to injure players, and you can't go out there with your stick high and taking liberties, or you're going to have to answer to somebody. And I think it's just, it's something that I'd like to see remain in the game.
What about size? How big do kids have to be to play at high school or to play at college?
At our level, where we're playing, size doesn't really has no bearing as far as I see as a coach in terms of if I'm going to keep a player or how much ice time a player is going to get. Obviously, if at the high school level, if you can have a team of 6-foot players that can skate and shoot and have talent, you're looking pretty good, but the reality of it is that doesn't happen. If you can have a smaller player in stature that competes and works hard, and some of our better players are slight in stature, and it's been that way now since I've been here. I don't see size, especially at this level, as a huge factor or a deterrent even, as long as that player is willing to compete.
Do you model yourself after any specific coach? Or who do you think are some of the best coaches?
Not really. Obviously, I would be making a huge mistake. I was, if I didn't mention, I was hugely influenced by Dean Fuller at Fitchburg State University. I played for him for 4 years. I coached with him for 10 years. We've become great friends. You can't be around somebody for that long and somebody that has had that much success and not be influenced. I mean, he's definitely my biggest influence in terms of coaching, but I like to think that I've put my own, handprints on my coaching style as well. And obviously, coming from the college game to the high school game, I'd probably still be a fish out of water without Coach Cormier and Coach Brooks, because it is such a different level, and they have been here at the high school level, and they understand coaching the high school athlete, and they've helped me tremendously.
A little later today, you're going to play Oakmont.
Yep.
I happened to be at your last game, and it seemed that their goalie stopped every shot for 2 periods.
Yep.
And so you're down 1-0. Your players skate in during the break to come out for the 3rd period. What did you say to them, or how do you motivate kids that are down to come back and score 5 goals in their final period?
Well, as far as what I said, I'm not sure we can air that. but I just try to keep it simple at that point. I mean, I think that to everybody watching, our team, our coaching staff, I think we had the most talent. I think it was obvious through those first 2 periods. I think we were the better team. One of the most important aspects I try to teach these players is that doesn't always translate into wins. Mm-hmm. Especially in ice hockey, there is something to be said about your compete level and your willingness to go into the hard areas. They call them the dirty areas in hockey, and being able to get your nose in there. So the more talented team doesn't always win. So it was a matter of, I thought their compete level was not where it needed to be, and really it has been all season. So I think they got the message loud and clear, and they came out and right from the drop of the puck in that 3rd period, they just kind of took over. And that's my hat's off to them, because it's them out there playing. Ultimately, it was them that took that game over, and it was the players that won that game. What I try to do is just point out that, they were better than that. They were better than they had shown in those first 2 periods.
Well, my family's very involved with Fitchburg High School. Most of my family members have all gone there. And it was only fitting that I went there too, and I love to play hockey, so.
Why not basketball or football? Why hockey?
I started playing hockey at a very young age. I never played football or basketball, but I just love to play hockey.
So how old were you when you first picked up a stick?
I started skating when I was 5, and then I think I started playing on a team when I was 6.
Wow, very young. So what do you need to do to get to the next level?
To get to the next level, just keep working hard, get bigger and stronger, and just keep excelling.
So do you want to play college hockey?
Yeah, I would like to play college hockey.
If you had your choice, where would you like to play?
I'd like to play at a school where I can do good academically too, because that means something to me as well as hockey does, because I know without that, hockey can't take you everywhere in life.
What is it like playing for a successful team? The Red Raiders have been very successful. You're only a sophomore, and yet you're playing varsity on a very successful team. What's that like? It's
awesome. It's fun. I mean, it's always good to win. I mean, you can't win them all, but we've been fortunate to win a good number of them, so.
Is it hard to recover when you have an unsuccessful night?
Not really, because, I mean, we have a 20-something game season, so there's always going to be another game where you can do better and just try to make yourself a better player.
Tonight you're taking on a rival. Sometimes you have to get really up to take on, I would imagine, the bigger teams. What's that like for you?
The game's preparation is all the same. I mean, they're all just other high school kids trying to beat you, and you're just trying to beat them. I mean, so obviously the rivals, you're going to get a little more hyped up, like Leominster, but I mean, just try to keep it simple and do what we have to do to win.
What's the hardest part of playing hockey?
The hardest part of playing hockey is probably the time it takes up. I mean, it takes up a lot of time out of your day, and you just got to keep your academics up, obviously, because without that, you're not going to be able to play.
There's no I in team. So let's say you're down by a goal. There's a minute left. You have the puck. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking give the best opportunity I can for either me to score or somebody else to score, as long as the puck gets in the net.
And you just got to keep at it, right?
Keep going until it happens.
Are you afraid of getting injured when you have to go into the boards?
No, not really. I mean, I've never had a major injury in my hockey career, so, I mean, they're prone to happen, but I don't really worry about it.
How strong do you have to be?
You don't have to be the biggest and strongest guy out there to be effective. You just need to do what you're supposed to and work hard.
When I first started coaching here, we had some real tough years. The first 3 years, I believe we won 2, 3, and then 5 games.
Wow.
So it was, it tested you mentally, you know, as to what kind of character you had, I think, not only for the players, but for the coaches too. And then after the third year, we started making the tournament. We've made it, I believe, 9 consecutive years now since then. And it seems like every year we've been better and better, and you know, had a lot of success, and especially since 2006. We've been to 4 Central Mass finals and won, I believe, 4 conference championships. So it's been, you know, a lot of fun, especially the last 5 or 6 years.
What turned it all around?
I think the continuity of the coaching staff. It took us a few years before we had kids from their freshman year on. You know, when we first started, we might have had some juniors and seniors who were coached by other people, who were used to a different coaching style or something like that. But I think once we were here and we had the same kids for 4 straight years, I think, and some big freshman classes coming in really helped a lot too. So once that happened, I think ever since then, it's been going really well for us.
This is a tremendous time commitment on your part for obviously not a lot of money. Why do you continue to do it year after year after year?
I've been asked that question a lot of times. People tell me, oh, you know, you make money to coach. Well, I coach because I love it. I love hockey. I love the kids. And I've always said the day that I stop having fun will be when I stop coaching. The day that I stop, you know, having that competitive fire, I'll stop doing it. We joke around, me and the other coaches. I think we have more fun than the kids sometimes. You know, I mean, we just love being here. I'd miss it if I didn't do it.
Talk to us a little bit about injuries, how you deal with them, how do you deal with the new focus on concussions, and what do you do when players are down and out for a number of games?
Up until this year, it really hasn't been something that we've had a big problem with. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, this year it seems like every game somebody new has gone down, or, you know, like you said, the concussions. We've had, I believe, 4, and they're, you know, very strict about what you can do and what you can't do when you have the concussion. So basically, it's, you know, follow the rules of the MIAA, follow what the doctors are telling us about the kids. You know, and just hopefully try and get them back to health so that they can come back. But I mean, obviously the most important thing is the students' health. And, you know, they have a life after high school. You know, this is not the end of the world. You know, obviously we lost a great player this year for the whole season, captain Eric Ledger. And, you know, I feel bad for the whole team, but I feel mostly bad for him because he's a senior, and just knowing what it must be like for him to have to sit and watch, and knowing what a big part of our team he was.
You were playing in a tournament when he got hurt, right at the beginning, as I recall.
Right.
You immediately call a timeout. What do you say to the kids? Because whatever you said seemed to work.
Well, I believe in that game we were actually struggling a little bit as far as how we were playing, in addition to the injury.
Right.
So, you know, I think we were basically telling the kids, look, you know, Eric's out of the game. He's not going to help us tonight. So we need people to step up and, you know, show some leadership and pick up the slack, because, you know, that's why it's a team. You know, I mean, we've got several kids who you might at our level call stars, but, you know, you need everybody to win, and I think that's why we've been successful. We've had some stars every year, but we also have some great role players who know what their jobs are, and I think they know when they need to pick up their game, and of course when you lose somebody like the caliber of Eric, you know, it's not just going to be one guy that's going to do it. You need every guy on the bench, every kid who steps on the ice to try and perform a little bit better.
And it's got to be so rewarding when, in fact, they listen to you and then they perform.
I'll tell you, of all the years I've coached, this has probably been one of the most fun for me, because being the fact that we stepped up to a higher level of competition, we're battling injuries. You know, I mean, we've faced more adversity this year than I can ever remember, and it seems like the kids are really responding to the challenge. And you know, to me, there's no ceiling for us. I think we can get better, and I think we can compete with most of the teams, if not all. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the season and hopefully a good run in the playoffs.
Well, I lived in Fitchburg for 17 years, so it was either a choice of Monty, Fitchburg, or St. Bernard's, and St. Bernard's wasn't really a good choice, so I ended up at Monty doing trade.
Where do you hope that hockey's going to take you? You're in shop right now, but what do you want to do with your hockey career?
Trying to go to college and maybe play somewhere, start out with a lower school and work my way up.
What do you think you have to do to get to that level?
Just keep practicing every day, get to colleges, talk to coaches, see what I have to do to make the level.
What role has hockey played in your life?
It's been a big part, mostly waking up early for practice, staying out late, having a game at 9 o'clock at night, having to travel, so it's been a lot of my life.
What's the difference between playing for a successful team and an unsuccessful team?
Well, it's always fun to win, but as long as you're on a team of friends and stuff, it doesn't really matter if you win or lose. It's all about having fun.
Are you superstitious at all? Are there things you do before a game?
Not really. Just do everything the same. On game day, just relax, don't do much, and then just come to the rink and be prepared.
What lessons have you learned about the value of teamwork?
You know, we just try to be a family and not get down on each other when someone's doing something bad or just having an off game. Just everybody treat everybody good and keep the level up.
Are you afraid of getting hurt, seriously hurt?
It's happened a couple of times, but it's kind of a freak thing, so I'm not really afraid of it. It just happens.
There is no I in team. So tell me what you do when there's 30 seconds left in the game. You've got the puck. You see the goalie. Do you go up or are you looking to pass?
Well, you go up and you just keep your head up, and if someone's open, obviously try to get it to them, but if they're covered up, just try to get a low, hard shot and hope for the best.
How do you feel if you miss an open net?
You feel pretty down because it's wide open, but you know.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens. How strong physically do you need to be?
Well, some of the smallest kids out there don't have to be that strong. They just have to be fast on their skates, but they have to be pretty smart because they're one of the smaller people. They don't want to be getting hit by the very big kids.
I just like working with the kids. I love the game, and I have 2 sons of my own, and I've coached them, and I just really like coaching at the high school level.
You said that this is the Fitchburg High Monty Tech ice hockey team. Tell me a little bit about the combination of schools playing on the same team.
Well, it works out really great. First of all, I'm not sure we'd have enough players at either school to even have enough players to run a program or even have a JV team. So the combination of the 2 schools together really works out well. And having one coach at Fitchburg High and me at Monty Tech really makes a big difference because we always have a coach there in the building with the students every day.
You've had a lot of challenges this year with injuries and a number of things have happened over the course of the season, and it's still early. How have you dealt with all of that?
Well, we've had 4 concussions, so you just got to kind of wait till those people get okayed from doctors and they're able to come back. We've got another student who took a skate in the hand and he's out for the season. He's our senior captain, along with other smaller injuries. We've had a broken collarbone. So you just kind of have to go with who you have, your coach who shows up that day, and hope for the best for the other players to come back.
What do you say to motivate the kids when they're taking on a team that's capable of scoring 10 goals and they're next on your plate, so to speak?
The best idea is that we compete, and to compete with each and every team that's on our schedule. That doesn't mean win every game, but it means you're able to compete. And sometimes you can lose a game 4-2, and it's a confidence booster and basically an emotional win for your team.
Jim, final comments for the audience?
Just that the two schools together, Monty Tech and Fitchburg High, the program really runs well. We have total support from our school committee and superintendent, and I think it's just great that we're able to do this, and for all of the kids at both schools.
Eric, you are a senior, a team captain, an all-star, just a tremendous player, but you got injured. Tell us about that.
Well, it's kind of devastating because I can't play my senior year, but there's nothing I can really do about it, so I'm just going to come to every game and support the team as I would if I was there.
I want to go to the last time your team faced Oakmont, and the score was 1-0 in Oakmont's favor. It was the end of the second period. The team went in, and they really looked down to me. But they came out, and there you stood with your teammate, Brandon, who is also injured. And you encouraged each player along with co-captain Wilson, and they took the ice, and they scored 5 goals. Do you think you played a big role in that?
Well, I just tell them what I do every game to go out there and try hard, and they just did it and scored, so.
I think you're an inspiration to them.
Yeah, maybe, but I think they did it because I want to be out there and they can see that, so they go out there and try hard.
And you had just had surgery a day or two before, correct?
That's correct.
And you haven't missed a game, and you cheer them on. And even though you can't be on the ice, you're still captain, and they know it.
Yeah, it's true.
Now, what's going to be next for you? Are you going to hope to go on and play college hockey, or are you going to go to juniors, or just play in some men's league?
Well, I'm going to try to go to juniors and stick with my trade and then maybe go to college after that.
What lessons have you learned about teamwork in your years of playing hockey?
Learn that you all have to work together because if one person goes out there and tries to do it themselves, it's not going to go well.
What's the hardest part of the game?
Probably waking up early and having to be there an hour ahead and just all the dedication you need to play.
Do you have things you're superstitious about when you get up at 5 in the morning? Do you have to do things in a certain order?
No, I pretty much do everything the same. Just go like it's a regular day.
I suspect that you have played in games in which the refs have made bad calls. How do you keep your cool?
Well, you just can't let it bother you because they're going to make the calls that they want to make and you can't change their opinion, so just got to keep playing.
If you're in a game and you're down by 4 or 5 goals and it's the third period, what are you thinking?
That you just need to get a couple quick ones and keep everyone up.
Well, the Oakmont hockey program over the last 4 years has really risen again. I started the program back in '88. And the teams I was on had gone to a couple state finals. They had seen a little lull in it. Then Tony Gleason, who was the head coach prior to me, really took the seniors that I have now under his wing and turned the program around into a winning establishment again. And over this past year, we have moved up a division due to our success, and we were pretty excited about it.
You and Fitchburg have become rivals. You've both moved up a division. You see each other oftentimes on the way to the championship.
Yeah, last year was the first year in 3 years we didn't have to play them in the playoffs. And we play them twice a year, every year in the season, due to conference scheduling. And they become our arch nemesis. They're usually very good games, usually 1-2 goal game, and it's fun to play them. It's a lot of fun.
Why do you coach?
Love the sport, and I love the kids. I've done this now for about 15 years, 9 of which I did in college. The last 6 here at Oakmont, actually 5, so it'd be 14 years, sorry. Last 5 years here at Oakmont, and you know, we got a great group of kids. They give me the effort day in and day out, and they just want to learn. And when you love a sport and you have a great combination of kids, it just makes it a lot of fun.
So you coached at the college level?
Yes, I did.
What's the difference between coaching a college team and a high school team?
Well, the biggest difference from the two is college, you're bringing in a player and you know what you're exactly getting. You go out and specifically recruit a player for his ability, whether it be on defense or offense, you know, things of that sort. And in high school, you get what you get. You get about 30, 35 kids that try out that just love the game and want to play. And you have to really teach them and help them learn the game. Where in college, they've already been taught the game, they know it. That's the big difference.
Is it hard for kids, whether they're playing for Oakmont or Fitchburg High, then to go on and play at the college level?
From this area, yes. It's very difficult now. The college game has changed due to the junior ranks, the junior hockey ranks, where kids can now go play until they're 19, 20, 21 years old in the junior ranks. And a lot of college coaches, they want to hold off and let a kid mature in the junior ranks before they bring them into a college. So it's really difficult for a high school student to come straight out of high school and go into college now. Normally, if they're being recruited, they're told to go play in the juniors for a couple of years. And that's so they mature and they learn a little bit more.
And parents, I'm sure, are like, oh my goodness, you want my son to, not go to school for 2 or 3 years. I'm sure that's a hard sell in a lot of family homes.
It is. It's a very difficult sell, especially when you look at the price tags of juniors. Most junior teams are $8,000 plus just to play juniors. I do give the junior teams credit. They usually tell their players who have graduated high school to go to a community college and stay up on their academics in community college, allowing them to transfer some of their grades into the four-year colleges that they go to. But it becomes a big burden. There's a 2-year gap where, although he may be doing some college education, his real study is on the hockey rink, and that's what they're focusing on. And for players coming out of Oakmont or Fitchburg who are going to school to get an education, it's a real tough sell to a parent to tell them to take 2 years off and enjoy hockey for 2 years.
Tell us a little bit about your own hockey playing. Were you a player?
Yes, I actually, like I said, I started the program in 1988 was the first year Oakmont had a varsity program. I was in 8th grade. I happened to make the varsity team. I played for 5 years under Dave Uminski, who's now the principal at Oakmont. We made some runs. We went to state finals once, state semifinals once. We had some really good teams. And then following that, I went on to Western New England College. I played 4 years there. Was captain of this team my senior year. We had 2 playoff runs, and we had a pretty good team out there. And then following that, I took a year hiatus after I graduated college, and then hooked up at Franklin Pierce University as a coach.
What are your predictions for tonight and for the season?
We've had two tough games already against Fitchburg. They beat us 5-1 in both. The last game we actually were beating them 1-0 going into the third period and ran into some penalty troubles. So we know we can compete with them. Fitchburg's one of those teams that we always expect to win. We're just looking to be competitive and hopefully come out top. They're a tough team. And we know each other very well. We know their systems, they know our systems, so it's going to be a grind-out hockey game tonight. And as far as for the season, we're just looking to compete. Being moved up this year into Division III, we're playing teams that we haven't seen in a long time who are talent-wise a little better than us, but my players, like I said, come night in, night out. They give me their effort, they give me everything they got, and that's all I can ask of my team. If they're giving me their effort, I can't expect anything else.
I play 3 sports, so I'm active all year, so it prepares me for the hockey season.
And you played defense?
Yep.
What's that like?
It's interesting. It's never the same. You get to control the play, breaking out of the zone, and protect the goalie.
And what are you thinking about when your team is down and it's only down a goal and you're getting into the final minute of the game?
Well, I feel like I have to take charge of the game and try to create as much offense as I can and just try to get on the scoreboard.
Tell me what your plans are in the future with respect to hockey.
Depends where I end up in college. I might end up playing some club hockey just to stay active. And after that, maybe some men's leagues, just for the love of the game,
Are you a senior?
Yep.
You are. What are your plans academically or professionally? What's next for you?
I want to attend a 4-year college, major in finance.
Good for you. Admirable goals. So you're not striving to get to the NHL. You're more realistic about the role that hockey is going to play in your life.
Yeah, it's like a character builder, and over the years I've played with some great hockey players and they haven't made it to the NHL, so it's I have a realistic outlook on it.
What lessons have you learned about teamwork playing hockey?
You can't do it yourself. You're a unit. You have to work together, and if there's bad chemistry, it's tough to win hockey games.
What if a ref calls you from hitting from behind and you haven't done that? How do you keep you cool?
You approach the ref politely, ask him why he called you on that, and the refs talk to us before every game and say it's a judgment call, so you really can't dispute it.
Right, and you just have to keep your cool and move on.
Yep.
So tonight, what's your prediction for the game?
It should be a good game. We have some great rivalry against Fitchburg, and we play them well every time. They play us well every time.
You're a great team, they're a great team, anything could happen, right?
Yep, who knows? That's why you play.
Well, in my early years, I played out with my brother, and then I decided that when I went to a junior type team when I was younger, a AAA team, that they didn't need any more skaters, so I'd figured goalie. So I tried that out and I liked it. So ever since 6th grade, I've been playing goalie throughout my entire hockey career, because when I was younger, I usually would split. Depends on if they needed a player, I would skate out. But then when it was 6th grade came around, they didn't need any players, so I just stuck to goalie and I liked it. So.
Do you like it when there's 10 seconds left and you're up by 1 goal, but somebody's on a breakaway coming right at you? Do you ever think, oh, I wish I didn't do this?
No, I mean, I like the thrill that you get from it.
If you save it,
Yeah.
right?
It's nerve-wracking, but it's always fun to give it your best shot and try to save it.
Something I've always been curious about, when you're standing there in net and there's a lot of action down the other side, what are you thinking about to keep yourself in the game?
I just watch the game, because anything could happen. They could take a shot from the other end of the ice, and if you're not ready, it could go in. So you really just have to pay attention to the game and stick to where the puck is on the ice at all times.
What lessons have you learned from hockey? What role has it played in your life?
Just being with a team, that you always have to have teamwork to achieve something. You can't do it by yourself.
Who have been some of the influential people in your life? Are there specific hockey players you look up to?
I just really looked up to my brother a lot. He was always there with me. Ever since we would be little, we'd play pond hockey together, so just looked up to him.
Massachusetts School of Law. Legal education that is practical, accessible, affordable, and enjoyable. Offering flexible day and evening classes, full or part-time studies, where candidates are assessed not on the LSAT, but their academic and other accomplishments, providing more professional skills training than any other law school in New England. Massachusetts School of Law. Visit us at mslaw.edu, training students to become successful lawyers and advocates, not just legal scholars.
I bet you didn't know that women have been playing ice hockey nearly as long as men. The first recorded women's hockey game was played in 1889 in Ottawa. Women's hockey leagues thrived in Canada through the 1930s. After World War II, interest in the women's game declined through the 1960s. Today, ice hockey is one of the fastest growing women's sports, with the number of participants increasing 350% in the last 10 years. While there are not as many organized leagues for women as there are for men, there exist leagues on all levels. One such league is the Canadian Women's Hockey League, which is one of 2 major ice hockey leagues in Canada. The league was founded in 2007 and currently has 6 ice hockey teams, 3 in Ontario, 1 in Quebec, 1 in Alberta, and 1 in Boston, Massachusetts. Someone who knows about women's hockey is the coach of the Chelmsford High School girls hockey team, Lenny Rowe. A few of the players on the Boston Blades played for him. Coach Rowe explains how he began coaching the girls team.
Well, I had 3 daughters, and they all went into figure skating. And the figure skating organization asked the middle one not to return because she was disruptive. Maybe she should take speed skating. So instead of speed skating, she wanted to go into hockey. So she went into hockey at 6 years old, and here we are. Then the youngest one followed her as a goalie, and the older one transferred from figure skating to hockey as a defenseman.
And where are they today?
Well, one is working for the Bruins, the oldest one. She played a year at Southern Maine, and then 3 years at UMass Amherst.
Good for her.
Yeah. The middle one, 4 years at St. A's. She was a captain up there. And the youngest one is now at UNH, but she's not playing hockey, she's playing rugby.
Coach, tell us about some of the recent successes or challenges of this particular girls' ice hockey team.
This team is probably the most skilled team we've had over the 12 years existence of this team.
Is that how long you've been coaching, 12 years?
Yeah, we started 12 years ago.
What is your goal of coaching the girls?
Well, actually, my goal has always been to coach them until a female, a qualified female, shows up and says, let's take this over. Because I don't really believe that the girls should learn that a male should have to run this. It should be run by females. And right now, as an assistant coach, I have my daughter Sam, my middle daughter, and she's the JV coach. But maybe she will, maybe somebody else will, but it really should be run by female coaches.
How do you help the girls, or do you help the girls get into college programs to continue their hockey playing years?
If they tell me what colleges they're interested in, we'll call up the coaches, and they'll come watch. We'll send them, information, and it seems like when you start winning, like we were 6-0 at one point, you see the college coaches there. I've seen 2 in the audience. One's already contacted me, and to talk about different people.
Interesting to see 2 sets of sisters playing hockey on your team at the varsity level. How much do you think that helps the girls' team, that you have sisters who know each other well?
Well, the Kenders, it's like really not having sisters, it's like having one player. They both think the same. They're both very, very dedicated. It's hard to explain, but working with them is like working with one person pretty much. Even though one's a forward and one's a D, it's so that's not that way. But we've had sisters in the past, and I think it helps. I mean, when my youngest came in, my middle one was still on the team, and she helped her through it. Because I noticed when freshmen first join the team, they have a tendency to be a little behind or a little lost, only because of maturity level maybe the confusion of all the new excitement or the new information. But they always seem to be a step behind. So we try to assign, if we get a freshman on a team, we try to assign a senior to the freshman. And when it's sisters, it's even better.
What do you attribute your success here to?
That's a tough question. I know we don't treat them like girls, we treat them like hockey players. We have difficult practices. We throw clinics all summer, and we have all age groups through the summer, and we skate them hard. They seem to like it. And so that's one thing. Also, we'll bring in younger players, and we'll work with them with the theory of them being, as a junior, as a senior, getting a lot of ice time, but maybe as a freshman and a sophomore, not getting that much ice. And that helps because they learn the systems and they learn what we're trying to accomplish, and by the time they're senior, they're usually a pretty dominant player.
Do you foresee in our future seeing women play hockey at a professional level?
That would be difficult because the strength level and the quickness level is difficult. As a goalie, that's happened. There's been professional goalies. As a player, it'd be tough because you could have the most skilled female player, then they go out and play with the boys and they get knocked around, and it doesn't take long before they get hurt.
What about, though, the lack of checking? Do you think that detracts from the game or adds to the game?
I like the game of checking. I like first man on the body, second man on the puck. That's all fun stuff. But, these are still women, still young girls. You don't want them out there mashing each other. And the girls' game is a more finesse game. They just can't go in and knock somebody down and take the puck away. They've got to finesse the puck away. They've got to get good angles. They've got to have real good skating abilities. So personally, I like the boys' game, but I don't think they're different. And the girls' game is more of a European style of skating and passing, where the boys' game is more of a muck it up.
Certainly the Olympics was exciting for all of us.
Yeah, but to add what I was just saying too, is the girls' game is not without contact. There's a lot of contact out there. You can check somebody. No, I shouldn't put it that way. You can make contact with somebody as long as you don't lower a shoulder, as long as you don't extend a hip, or you don't extend. So if you bump into somebody, it's incidental contact. And there's a lot of incidental contact, and it's very, very rough. But as long as you don't extend on the hit, it's not considered a check. So it's not like they're playing a game without contact. There's still a lot of mucking it up, especially in the corners.
Are concussions a serious issue in girls hockey?
Yes, we got 2 concussions out of a game, I think 3 years ago in Andover. We had a concussion last year, and we lost a girl for half of the year. Very important player, center on one of our lines, had a concussion, was gone for half the season. So yeah, it's always there.
Well, my brother started playing when he was around 3, and ever since he started playing, I kept asking my parents if I could play. And then around the age of 10, my parents finally gave in and allowed me to play hockey.
And is your story the same?
Yeah.
Of course, right? You're twins. Why hockey? I mean, you could do a lot of things. Why did you want to play hockey?
I guess it was just seeing our brother out there every week and seeing how much fun he had.
Yeah. And so it looked like fun to you.
Yeah. And then our uncle always set up a rink in his backyard, so we would skate there. So that got us into hockey more too.
So this is one of those outdoor rinks that you see people now putting in their yards and their kids are out playing. That's a great idea, isn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of fun. So have you enjoyed your years playing hockey?
Yeah, it's been awesome. Yeah. Every time I step on the ice, it feels amazing.
What role would you say, and let me ask you first, what role has hockey played in your life?
Well, it just I've always been determined to do my best in everything that I do, and hockey is just another aspect of my life that continues to drive me to be the person I am. And it's wicked relaxing, too, to play the sport.
Oh, I don't know how you can say that.
Just every time I step on the ice, I just forget about everything and just focus on hockey.
You're just focusing on the puck. Now, you play different positions. Elizabeth, what position do you play?
Center.
You play center and you play?
Defense.
Defense. And how is it that you end up in different positions?
Some people say that it's because she would play defense like in the backyard, and I would play center, and just like when we would fool around, we would just get those positions, I guess.
You play for a very successful girls hockey team. What's that like? What's the success like for you?
After we win, it feels so good. And being part of a successful team just makes it even more fun.
You've been playing a long time, though, Elizabeth, and I'm sure at times you've played for teams that haven't, quote, won it all. So what is it like when you give it your all and you lose?
It is really sad, but I guess it just pushes me to do better next time, because it gives me something to reach for next time.
What's the goal for this season?
Probably to make it to states. No, definitely to make it to states, and then like MVC title. Mm-hmm.
You think that's going to happen?
Yeah.
Who's your biggest rival?
Bill Ricka.
Bill Ricker.
But we just beat them last week, 4-3.
Oh, close game. They're coming after you the next time. I just know it, right? Now, tell me how you think being twins, being sisters, playing hockey has helped your team be successful, if it has.
Well, I always know, like, I don't even have to look up, and I always know where she is.
And why is that? Because you've been playing with her for so long?
Probably, and like our twin telepathy.
And do the other gals on the team love that you're twins? Do they feel that that's a really...
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I bet they do. And I understand that you have another set of sisters playing on the same team.
Yeah, Katrina and Sarah.
So do you have to be a sister to make the squad or what?
Yeah, maybe that's what it seems like.
That sure does seem like that. What are your future plans?
We both want to do engineering.
Oh, good for you.
And hopefully play in college.
Play together in college?
Probably, yeah. We want to go to the same school.
That's what I was going to ask next. You read my mind, so you don't just read your sister's mind. You can read my mind. I want to know, are you going to go together? Is that crucial to you?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
It is. And so you both want to play varsity hockey together. You play other sports?
Lacrosse.
And so do you hope that might be a part of your plans also?
Hopefully, yeah. Maybe a club, maybe varsity too.
Now, tell me about your younger brother. I understand he's a freshman on the high school boys team, and he's quite a good young player as well. How is boys hockey different than girls hockey?
They can check, but I think that girls hockey takes more finesse because you're not always worrying about checking.
Do you think that things are equal with respect to hockey, whether you play girls hockey or boys hockey? In other words, are there the same amount of people in the stands cheering for you?
There are a little less than at our games, but...
But your parents are there for whether it's your brother or you, correct?
Yeah.
And that's what matters. What about media coverage? You two were in the Boston Globe, which is a big deal. Is the media coverage of girls the same or better or worse than boys?
It seems the same.
So if you're an athlete, you're an athlete. If you're successful, they're going to cover you irrespective of your gender.
Yeah.
Well, hockey's been a big part of our family for a long time. We two of my sisters and me, we all play hockey in my family, and my dad makes a rink in our backyard, so we all play together.
And how about you, Katrina? You're a senior. Tell us about your hockey career here.
Well, it's been awesome here at the high school. Our team actually has 10 seniors on it, and we've all been playing together since we were little on the under-10 team at Chelmsford, and we all know each other really well, and it's just a fun atmosphere to be with people that you know and you get along with, and you've known them for so long, so it's awesome to grow up with them playing hockey and actually be here at the varsity level senior year with all of them.
And as a bonus, you have your younger sister, who's a freshman, also playing varsity ice hockey. That's got to be terrific.
Yeah, it's nice to have someone there that you know that has your back, and it's just nice to spend your senior year with your sister, and it's really sentimental to have her on the team with me.
So are you going to win it all this year?
I want to go all the way. We have the capabilities to do that. We have an awesome team this year. We're really strong. This is probably the strongest team we've had. We all get along really well, and we just play together. Again, we know how each other plays because of playing with each other for so long. So I'm very excited.
And the four of you that I've talked with today, none of you are big brutes, so to speak. So you must play a super finesse game. Is that accurate?
I hope so. But yeah, you don't really need to be big and strong and super muscular. I feel like there's it's very stereotypical about hockey that you have to be really strong, and you don't need to be like that as long as you have skill and you're able to. It's a lot of speed, so if you're able to get around your defender, that's really all that matters.
So Sarah, if you're fast, you have a good shot, you're accurate, you're technically good, that's what it takes.
Yep, pretty much.
How is that different than men or boys hockey?
Boys hockey has a lot more contact in it. Like girls hockey is more about speed, and I think boys hockey is more about strength.
Some people say that for women's hockey to really take off, for there to be a professional team, or for lots of viewers to want to watch women play hockey, you need to have checking in the game. What is your reaction to that?
I don't think checking is necessary at all. I think it actually brings out the better part of the game because it actually shows your skill. And I think nothing against checking in the boys or anything, but I think it does. It gives you a way to maneuver around people or to get to the puck a different way, where it has its pros and cons. So I guess checking is also awesome too, but not checking is awesome too.
And watching the women in the Olympics, that was so exciting, and there's no checking there, so it tells you that, it is a great game for women to play. Tell me how you perceive the treatment to be with respect to girls hockey and boys hockey. Do you have the same amount of people in the stands, the same amount of support and media coverage?
You definitely don't have the same amount of fans. You'll see that maybe our rink isn't as full as a Saturday night boys varsity game, but it definitely is very supported. We're gaining respect as the years goes on with women's hockey all around the world, I feel like, and it's slowly getting there. It's progressing to become as big as guys hockey, but if around the world there are a lot of it's getting very competitive, so it's definitely getting there. It's on the right track.
And when the sports writers in the Boston Globe write about this program, that tells you you're up and on your way, right?
Yeah, it's really exciting to actually to see our team or any other girls' teams that we're getting noticed, and it's a big deal because it's a newer type of sport, and people always look at girls not being able to play hockey, and it's nice to gain a little bit of respect from people that we actually can play hockey.
Sarah, what role has hockey played in your life? What skills have you learned or life lessons from hockey?
Hockey teaches me about endurance, about just everything sports can give you. I like playing after school, and just gives me something to do.
Something positive.
Yeah.
You're a senior. What's next for you?
I'm planning on playing field hockey in college. I'm going to miss playing hockey. Except I am playing field hockey, so I had to pick one of the sports. But I will miss playing and being with everyone. It's going to be tough once it's over, but we had an awesome time. So.
But it'll be sweeter if you end with a victory, right?
I'd love to end with a victory. That'd make my senior year if we won. It's definitely possible if we put our minds to it.
And if you don't, you'll come back and cheer on your sister for 3 more years.
Exactly. I'm very excited for them. I really hope that they have really good leaders, younger underclassmen that are awesome leaders, so they're definitely going to lead the team well next year's.
Katrina, have you, who are of petite size, endured any concussions along your hockey career?
Not that I know of. I hope not, but you definitely get bumped and a couple bruises out there on the ice. You get hit hard, but we have had a few players on our team that have had concussions from playing in the game.
And with new standards with respect to concussions and how we respond to them, those players end up being out for a period of time.
Yeah, they usually are out for however long the trainer will say, however severe their concussion is. But they're definitely taken seriously now with all of the research on the concussions and how dangerous it actually can be to your brain to play.
It actually started my sophomore year. I just wanted to play hockey for fun. And then my coach, Dave Denoyers, he asked me if I wanted to try goalie, and I said, sure, why not? And it's been history ever since.
Are you talking about your sophomore year in high school?
Yes, in high school.
This is the first time you played hockey?
Yes.
And 2 years later, you're the star goalie for the high school team.
Yep, pretty much.
Pretty remarkable. Now, why not play a little bit of an easier position?
I don't know, I like the intensity of it.
So when the score is tied up and there are 30 seconds left in the game, and your opponents, we'll say it's Bill Ricker, they're coming down and it's a 2-on-1 and they're coming at you. You really like that.
I like that. I like that a lot. I don't know, just something about the adrenaline rush I get from it. I get so focused and it just comes naturally to me, I guess.
And what if you miss?
And then I shake it off and forget about it and just get after them again.
So what lessons in life do you learn from this experience in the net?
When you get knocked down, you gotta brush yourself off and get back up.
Wonderful message to deliver to everybody listening to the show. Now tell me a little bit about the popularity as you see it of girls hockey.
I feel like it's getting a little bit more popular. We have our little fan club, but it's not as popular as the boys can be. But I know we're making a name for ourselves, I think.
It's not as popular now, but when you make your way to the state title, this place will be filled, correct?
Exactly.
And do you think that that's a possibility for the girls team?
Definitely.
You have a lot of successful players.
We have a lot of potential. I feel like we're going to go far.
Do you have family members that also play hockey?
No, not at all.
Well, I'm glad that there is a single girl without a sister on this team, because I've been talking to sisters all afternoon. And that must be very helpful when they're on the ice to be playing with someone who they know that well, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think it helps a lot.
And I think it's probably helped your team with some of its success.
Yes, definitely. Most definitely.
So tell us what's next for you.
I'm planning on going to college next year, majoring in nursing, hopefully playing a sport, preferably field hockey, but...
You're going to hang up the ice skates?
I don't know, maybe if an opportunity comes knocking at the door, I'll put them back on.
Well, that's good. I hope it does. I hope we have certain people in the audience that are listening to the show and they give you a call. Whatever you choose to do, I know you're going to be successful, and we wish you the best. Now, are there any goaltenders out there in the pros that you use as your model?
Definitely Tim Thomas.
Congratulations to the teams on a season that brought them to the playoffs. We'd like to thank the coaches and the players for taking the time to talk with us, and also to thank Casey Murdoch and FMC Ice Sports for all of their help. So until next time, you skate fast, score off, and stay out of that penalty box, and you be well.